Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. Alright, so today I am going to be talking about fisheye lenses, and this one specifically, the Rokinon 8mm f3.5 fisheye. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I got this as a Christmas gift. I am pretty stoked about it. I've been wanting to pick up a fisheye to do astrophotography with. Equivalently, this lens right here on the APS-C style bodies is going to be 12.8 millimeter, so roughly 13 millimeters. Now, if you're shooting on APS-C size bodies, 13 millimeters is wide, and I have a 10 millimeter f2.8 Rokinon lens, and so equivalently that is 16 millimeters. This is almost 3 millimeters wider than that, and that's pretty big. So it's got a pretty low aperture of f3.5, but honestly I really feel that even at f3.5, like, you can still get some pretty decent images depending on what system you're using. I have the Canon EOS Rebel SL3 and the Canon EOS Rebel T7. When I do my astrophotography with those camera bodies specifically, I try to stick around a 1600. I might dabble in 3200 if I absolutely need to, but I really try to stick around 1600 just because I get the best results. I don't have a lot of noise in post to kind of remove, and I still get a pretty clean image. Now, I do also have a Canon EOS RP, which when mounting this lens to the RP, you get 8 millimeters. And when I say you get 8 millimeters, I mean it is literally a fisheye. You get one photo that is basically a circle with the image inside of it on a full frame, and it's pretty insane because you almost literally can see behind you, which that's how wide this is. As far as chromatic aberration and stuff goes, I haven't honestly noticed a whole lot of it yet, and I've used it for probably about 2 days now. So one of the nicest things about this is, number one, you can remove the lens hood. So if you're shooting on a full frame camera, you can remove this, so this way you're not getting the lens hood in the photo. I like that. I also like it because sometimes, not always, but sometimes you just want a little lens flare and you don't really, just to make the image a little bit more dramatic. I like lens flares. Maybe not everybody does, but I'm not everybody. So keep that in mind. So this has an aperture range of f3.5 to f22. I haven't, like I said, I've only had it for a couple days, so this is kind of like an initial review, but as far as a new lens goes, I mean, this, like, the aperture ring, it clicks into place and it feels super solid. So you go from a 3.5 to a 5.6, probably like a 7.1 to an 8 to, I would say, probably like a 9.2 or a 9.1, 11, probably a 13, a 16, an 18, and a 22, all through the aperture ranges. I will say with any Rokinon lens, this one specifically, same with my 10mm f2.8. So down here on the focusing ring, which is super smooth, it's got a little bit of resistance to it, but it turns like butter. But what I'm gonna say is, so Rokinon has this little like infinity symbol down here. You basically have to kind of set it up to where the two lines meet. I know that kind of seems like it would be a no-brainer, but it goes well past that when you focus to infinity, so just keep it in mind. I haven't noticed any loss in sharpness if you're past that. Like I said, I plan to specifically use this just for astrophotography, or like doing like some like crazy indoor, like say if I went to like a cool cathedral or something, or if I just wanted to get like some kind of like crazy off the wall fisheye effects. This is it right here. Now, being that it's a fisheye lens, I mean, your front lens element, and Rokinon's pretty well known for their crazy large lens elements, but it's big. And I think that's why the lens hoods, that's why they always attach their lens hoods. I like this Series 2 lenses that they've been putting out with the removable lens hoods on it. I kind of wish my 10mm had one, but what are you going to do? So this lens too also is pretty small compared to my 10mm f2.8. This lens is, I wouldn't say like half the size, but when you remove the lens hood, I mean, this lens right here is probably almost half the size of the 10mm. Now, if the 10mm lens hood was removable, I don't think you would really have that issue. I would say that it's probably about 1.5 to 2 inches shorter than the 10mm. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty excited for that lens. So this lens is specifically designed for APS-C size bodies. Like I said, I can put this on a full frame mirrorless, but as far as the image goes, you're just getting a round circle with the image inside of it. I did mess around with one of those images in Lightroom, and you can fix the distortion on it a little bit, but it's super weird. I don't know if I would ever really change it. I probably would just leave the photo as it is if you're shooting on full frame. As far as APS-C size bodies go, if you're just shooting this, you're gonna have that like kind of weird fisheye barrel distortion on the sides, but I mean, these lenses are like maybe less than $300, and if you're shooting specifically with APS-C size bodies, if you are trying to get into like a real estate photography or something, you probably couldn't use this unless you had like a really large room where you weren't close to any walls. You might be able to get away with it, but just something to consider too. Like I said, this will be my primarily astrophotography lens just because it's so wide, and I'm pretty excited to start using this. When I do like a 6-month review, obviously I'll kind of throw some photos and stuff from this lens into it, so keep an eye out for that. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, also give it a thumbs up. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.